Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome to my home library. Welcome back to another video. It may be late in the springtime or like halfway through spring, but it's still spring. And I don't know about you, but I want some spring reads. So today we're going to talk about some books that I think are fitting for springtime. And what I did for the criteria is things I thought of when I thought of like green, greenery, watery, set during the spring, light and fun mood, and it had to be something I liked. It wasn't just going to be ones that like fit all those criteria, but then I hated it because I could think of something like that, but I was like, I don't want to recommend those just because they fit the vibes. I don't actually like those books. So I will also be choosing ones that I enjoyed. And our drink of the video is this sparkling seltzer water stuff, berry flavored from Meyer, just, you know, generic seltzer water. You know me and my seltzer water. I enjoy it. I had a Red Bull that was really cool. It's like a blue one, and I don't know where it went. It disappeared. I hope I didn't spill it somewhere. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about some springy reads. The first one would be House in the Cerulean Sea. I can't decide which side to put the books on. There we go. Okay. House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I loved this book. I think of it as being, well, obviously it's kind of watery. It's set by the sea. The sprayed edges of this book are like teal if you get the special edition, which I really, really want. I don't own it, but I want to. And it's lighthearted. It's fun. There's like kids in it at a magic school. I'm not going to tell you the plot of all these books because there's just not time for that because I have a big list of books. But I think that this book is very springy, perfect for the springtime if you like a magical kind of school setting, if you want vibes that are sort of like Harry Potter, but like meets 1984, meets like Good Omens, maybe, then check out this book. Another springy read would be Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. This is a middle grade series. There are 3 of these books out in the series right now, and there is about to be a 4th one very soon in June. And this book, look, it's even got umbrellas on the front of it. Like, you can't get more springy than that, right? It's always raining. They travel by umbrella, kind of. And the first whole part of this book is set during the springtime. And it does go throughout the different seasons, though, which is actually what I love about this book, too, is that you can read it any season because they talk about Halloween and Christmas. And yeah, it's very springy, in my opinion, if you want a Harry Potter vibes, middle grade fantasy at like a magic-y school, but the writing is just as good, if not better quality than Harry Potter. Next, I'm going to recommend Daughter of the Pirate King, which I think I do own this book somewhere, but it gives me, I mean, summery vibes too, I suppose, but if you just want like a high seas adventure, it is young adult, but I think it's still so much fun. And there is a sequel, but I'm not even going to tell you the name of the sequel. Do not look up the name of the sequel because it gives you a spoiler in the name. The title of the sequel tells you like who she is. Like, you know, she's a daughter of a pirate king, but in the second one, it tells you like more information that is supposed to be the big reveal in the first book, which I'm like, why did they call it that? I don't know. This main character in this book is very much like Jack Sparrow-like, which is really fun, but it is told in first person point of view from her POV, which is very interesting. It'd be like, what would Pirates of the Caribbean be like if you were in Jack Sparrow's head? And that's what this is. So it's fun. It's set on the seas. You know, there's mermaids, like sirens. It's a fun, good time. Speaking of seas, I'm seeing a lot of trends with seas. There's like Daughter of the Pirate King set on the seas, House in the Cerulean Sea. Now we have Tress of the Emerald Sea. So if you want a fantasy that is like fun, lighthearted, is not a series, you don't have to commit, it's a standalone, highly recommend. I'm sure everybody's heard of Brandon Sanderson. I'm not a fan of Brandon Sanderson's other works that I've tried, but I loved Tress of the Emerald Sea because it was funny. The main character is not, well, the narrator is not the main character of the story. He's just like this random other kind of side character named Hoyd, who apparently is in the other Sanderson books in the Cosmere or whatever. And I loved his witty humor. That was my favorite part about the whole book. But if you want sea vibes and you want, I think it was supposed to kind of be originally based on like The Princess Bride, that the author kind of loved The Princess Bride and wanted to do a retelling for his wife. And that's like sort of what inspired it, which I don't even like The Princess Bride, but I thought that this one was just really unique and clever and fun. I recommend it for spring. Okay, another kind of like fun fantasy I recommend for spring, maybe because I read it in spring of last year, is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. It's silly. It is silly. It is young adult, like fantasy romance. But it's like it knows what it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously, like Twilight or something. It's just fun. It's just like a lighthearted, fun little fantasy that has like every trope you can imagine. Like there is a vampire in this. I can't remember if he's in the first book or the second book, but it's literally like every trope you can ever imagine. Yes, there's some romance. it's just fun. Like there's some lore, there's some like mythology kind of in it that you're like, ooh, I want to know this backstory of stuff. And it just was a lot different than what I was expecting. And I'm somebody that doesn't even like young adult romantic fantasy really like a lot. And I liked this one. I didn't think the rest of the books in the series were as good, but I probably would recommend reading the whole series to get the full story. If you want a mystery, I highly recommend A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I love this trilogy. All three of the books in the series are very good. The last one is my all-time favorite. I own it somewhere back there. But this first one is just a fun thriller, like for, you know, yes, it's for young adults, but I think even adults will enjoy it too. So I do recommend it as kind of a springy read. It does not fit my criteria, except that I liked it. I don't think it's set in the springtime. I mean, maybe part of it is. I think it's set more throughout like the entire school year, but there's something about it that I just feel like it's, you know, more of a fun kind of thriller because you get to solve like part of the clues along the way. Like she'll find a clue and then she'll kind of solve it. She'll find a clue and then she'll solve it. It's not just like, and I feel like the second book, though, does do this where it's like, oh, there's just a whole bunch of clues. And then all at the end, they all come together. I don't like that as much. I liked it was very satisfying finding like little clues and then solving them as you went. How about a nonfiction book that you can listen to in one day on audio or read physically in one day? And that is How to Keep House While Drowning. I read this one spring, listened to it on audiobook, and it made me feel a lot better about myself. She gives, you know, motivational stuff in there too, and makes you feel better about the state of your house. But then she even gives like really practical tips about your house as well. And I believe the chapters were like really, really, really short. And the book itself was really short. So you could literally listen to it in like one day. And spring cleaning, maybe that's why I kind of thought of this book too. And the cover's blue and it looked springy and like clouds. I don't know. I think of this book in the springtime and I think I'd love to reread it actually. Next is very strange for me to recommend a young adult romance. Who am I? What am I doing in this video? Like these are not books I typically read. But as far as young adult romance, I liked Last Chance Books. I thought the book Book Lovers by Emily Henry was going to be the plot of this book, and it wasn't. And then I found this book and was like, that's the plot I was wanting. I thought that Book Lovers would be, well, I'll tell you what the plot of this one is, and I'll just tell you, I thought it was going to be similar to Book Lovers. This book is actually about a girl who, you know, her family like owns this little mom and pop bookstore, like a family owned bookstore, right? And then next door, moves in the big like corporate bookstore, like a Barnes and Noble. They call it something else, but it's like Barnes and Noble. And of course she meets like the son or grandson or whatever of the like main guy that owns that place. And of course they have like a love-hate sort of thing, right? Like at the beginning they have to start out as enemies and then become lovers and all enemies to lovers. But it's about a lot about saving her bookstore too, and like different things going on in her life at school and with her family. So there's like some of the teenage drama stuff going on as well, but it's pretty lighthearted and fun. And it's a book about, you know, bookstores. And that's what I wanted Book Lovers to be, but it wasn't. So I'm glad this one kind of filled the void. I know it's young adult, but I still recommend it. It's a very fun, it's very springy looking, highly recommend. Okay, my last recommendation is super weird, like so weird. It's a short story that is 48 pages long and it's a classic. It's by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and it's called, you probably are like, what? He wrote the Scarlet Letter. Like, what did he write that's springy? It's called Rappaccini's Daughter. And I still remember this book. We had to read it in our junior English textbook in high school. And this book has stuck with me for a very long time. It's like Poison Ivy from Batman, right? Like how and so that's why I'm getting the springy vibes, because it's about a girl who her lips are like poisonous. Like her dad, Rappaccini, her dad is, you know, like a scientist or botanist or whatever he was. And he has this like garden of poisonous plants that he raised her with inside the garden. So now she is poisonous. So if he kisses her or anything, like she would kill him. But this guy like wants to be with her, right? So it's like, how is that even possible? And so it just reminds me of like Poison Ivy from Batman, but also very springy because, you know, it's about plants and stuff. So I don't know. I just remember I love this story. Now it has been a long time since I've read it, but I've convinced myself to reread it. So if you're kind of in the mood for a classic and you want something short, like I said, 48 pages, check out Rappaccini's Daughter. I can link my summer reads down below as well. I have a book of summer recommendation list that's probably not going to change too much this summer, so I probably won't make a new one. But I can think of a lot that are more kind of set in the summertime, like Malibu Rising, Carrie Soto is Back, apparently just a lot of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. But things like that I feel like are more summery. It's just those that I just mentioned I think of being as particularly springy. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, if you have any good spring recommendations for me or for anybody else watching, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.